The average 25-year-old man in the US, at least, makes $40,000 a year. The average 35-year-old makes $60,000 a year, and this is probably before taxes. Only about 10% of men, in the US at least, make six figures. 10%. And you better believe that most of those men are not that young. It takes time to get that kind of income. They're probably at least 45 years old, if not in their 50s.
Right here, right now, it's the right time, it's the right sound, right now, tell the whole pipe down, tell that nigga pipe down, pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. So guys, we are about to break down this video of a woman saying that high value men are overrated. Now, yes, she may be saying this, but the reality is we know that high value men are the talk of the town, okay? And if you are not familiar with the hierarchy of high value men, here is how it goes. So you have high value men. Then you have the Malcolms right below that, okay? You have 4 tiers of Malcolm. The first tier Malcolm is a massively attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. Second tier Malcolm is a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. Third tier Malcolm is a medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. And then the fourth tier Malcolm is a massively ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. So women have a choice between high value men or Malcolms, or they can get with the Thug Max Alpha Simps or the street dudes or whatever, and we've covered that in previous videos. But women have a choice, and they are choosing to target high value men. So when this woman says, oh, high value men are overrated, I mean, it sounds good, talk is cheap, but who is she actually letting get in them draws? So let's listen up.
Space online, the buzzwords high value man and high value woman are tossed around a lot. We tend to value what men find attractive because we know that we need to embody at least some of those.
You sound goofy already. High value men, this isn't about what men find attractive, ma'am. No, it's not. It's about what women find attractive. If men could get away with being bums and being high value video game players, we would do that. However, women want high value men. Men are not attracted to high value men unless they're looking for a job. No, women are attracted to high value. It's not about what men are attracted to. It's about what women are attracted to. Y'all made the term high value men popular because that is all that you are pursuing.
Things in order to attract an attractive quality man and maintain a healthy marriage. I receive tons of comments from women who say that we shouldn't care about what men find attractive, and they'll literally say, and I quote, "You're focusing on all this femininity stuff, but your husband will still cheat on you, and I bet I could get him to cheat on you." Firstly, I always think project much, and then I think, okay, well, come back to me in 30 years and tell me how that worked out for you.
So you hear the sentiment that is going against women, all right? Oh, well, you could have a high value man, but he'll still cheat on you. Well, we know from listening to Kevin Samuels that high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. So if you are a woman and you choose to deal with a high value man, then, just understand that there is a likelihood that he might exercise options. However, he most likely will not leave that woman for another woman. So let's keep going.
And then I promptly delete the comment. So I completely understand why this community emphasizes being of high value, but I actually think pursuing high value men is overrated. People, of course, have different definitions of high value man, but the most...
And that's where we got it messed up. That's where we got it messed up. There is no other definition of a high value man. There's one definition of a high value man, and this definition of a high value man is is described and placed in a hierarchy that I have created myself in order to better illustrate what a high value man is. So what is a high value man actually? So a high value man is, for one, there's a money aspect, there's a financial aspect, there is a economical aspect to being a high value man. The first thing is making $10,000 a month for, over 3 years, or at least 3 years. Okay. The second is having a network or peer group of other high value men. And the third is having respect, earning the respect of those high value men. Now, we do exclude certain professions from being high value, like athletes. We do not consider athletes high value men because they did not earn their wealth through business. They earned their wealth through their physical abilities, but they did not earn their wealth through business, so they would not be considered high value men. We do not consider rappers high value men. They did not earn their wealth through business. They earned their wealth through entertainers. So what we consider high value men are white collar men and high earning blue collar men. Okay, these guys who are making good money. Kevin Samuels had an acronym called Henry, high earner, not rich yet. And I just extrapolated upon that and created the acronym Malcolm. And that is the massively attractive, mildly attractive, medium ugly, or massively ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. Okay. So we know what a high value man is. There is no other definition of a high value man, but women want to change, and beta men want to change the definition of a high value man because they are so upset about the economical aspect of being high value. They want to go and say, oh, well, the janitor is high value because, oh, he has good morals and character, and he goes home to his wife every day at, 5 o'clock and helps her with the chores. That's high value. And that's what women want to make high value, except they won't date these men. So what we have to understand is high value is a stringent metric, and it cannot be changed, and we need to set a precedent. That's why I created the high value hierarchy with high value men and Malcolms below that, because then we can throw in the janitor as a Malcolm. He's not a high value man, but he is a Malcolm, a medium ugly or massively ugly or mildly attractive or massively attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man, but he is not a high value man. So guys, that is why we have to put stringent parameters on what a high value man really is.
The most prevalent definition I see online is a guy just being an above average earner with a high status. That's essentially how Kevin Samuels, may God have mercy on his soul, and the Red Pill Manosphere Collective talk about high value men. In fact, Kevin Samuels had 6 specific factors that he used to qualify a man as high value. If you're a high value man, then you, according to him, have to 1, make at least $120,000 a year, 2, for at least the past 3 to 5 years, 3, have group acceptance from other high value men, 4, network with other high value men, 5, have the reputation as a high value man, meaning having your income and public image linked, and 6, have utility, meaning that you're
LinkedIn visibility.
You're useful to others. Being a high value man in this vein has very little to do with character. If a man makes a lot,
and this is This is where the Malcolms come in. Stop trying to, you have to have high character to be high value man. High value men, it does not matter about character, morality. This is mute. Being high value is amoral, okay? It doesn't matter if you rose through the ranks of business by being cutthroat, but you're making $100,000 a month, you're still high value. It doesn't matter if you're a cutthroat businessman and you don't, obviously work within the law, right? But maybe some of your moves may not be considered quote unquote ethical. It does not matter. You're still a high value man. Okay? Stop trying to bring morality into the high value man. That's why I created the term Malcolms, because then you can find that, that lucrative, operational, likable man, okay? But when it comes to high value, it has nothing to do with morality.
a lot of money, what that essentially signals is, unless he's a Nepo baby, is that he's competent, he's disciplined, he's a hard worker, and those are all, of course, valuable traits. I am not here at all to say that you should want a man.
By the way, she's cute. You know, we'll give her a 6. Very even skin tone, beautiful hair. I can't see the body, but I'm assuming it's, you know, regular, but real pretty face, basic body, 6.
Man who's incompetent, undisciplined, and lazy and makes no money at all. What I am saying is that if you are an average young woman in your 20s or 30s and are looking for men in the same age group, there is an infinitesimally small chance that you're going to find a man in your age group who makes 6 figures.
So that's where she's correct. If you're a woman between the ages of 18 and 25 and you're looking for a quote unquote high value man in your age group, good luck, because these guys are few and far between, contrary to what social media shows you.
Let alone a wholesome man who wants to be monogamous, who makes 6 figures. The average 25-year-old man in the US, at least, makes $40,000 a year. The average 35-year-old makes $60,000 a year, and this is probably before taxes. Only about 10% of men in the US, at least, make 6 figures. 10%. And you better believe that most of those men are not that young. It takes time to get that kind of income. They're probably at least 45 years old, if not in their 50s, and unless you want to have a pretty large age gap marriage, I'm talking 10 to 20 years, which most people don't want because they want to experience all the different seasons of life together, then you should probably consider more regular so-called average men. I see a lot of women on
and this is a pretty cute woman telling women to settle for average men. Do you think that these modern women are going to settle for average men? No, ma'am. And this is why I say women don't even understand other women. They don't. When you say you should probably settle for a more average man who's making $50,000 a year, women scoff at that. Women are disgusted by that. Modern women. Yes, they are. So, I mean, she say it sounds good. It sounds good, but we know that modern women do not want to settle for a man who's making $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Let's keep it a buck. Once you mention that figure, they're getting dried up like the Sahara Desert.
Online pining after the top, not even 10% of male earners, but the top 5%. Men who make,
yes, and this is what you don't understand. Women will share these men, point blank.
At least $200,000 a year. Women who think that being with a regular dude is settling and complacent. I am not saying that money is an awful thing. I'm not saying every high-earning man is unwholesome. However, if money is the main focus or the highest goal, then it becomes disordered. If you're a young woman who wants to get married, start a family while you're still young, and you want a man who's also young, then you should not base your standards off of what the red pill manosphere collective.
Here she go, coming at the red vitamin. But what she also doesn't understand is that women don't want to settle down when they're young, bruh. At least modern women don't. When do they want to settle down, guys? At the age of 30, when they've had their fun and they're ready to hit the wall and nobody's buying them drinks at the bar no more. That's when they want to settle down. She's got it all wrong. Now, for her, she looks like one of these homely, earthy girls who probably grew up in a, you know, lower or middle class, lower middle class, you know, maybe between, I'll say her parents probably earned between 62, I mean, I'm going to give a big range here, but $60,000 to $110,000 a year. So she seems like that type of gal, you know, who may be ready to settle down closer in her youth, right? However, she has 112K subs on YouTube. Now, y'all already know I've been in this YouTube game longer, and it's way easier for women to grow on social media than men. Even though y'all already know your boy Reclaim Your Throne provides a lot more value than this woman, respectfully. But she has 112K subs on YouTube. I'm gonna tell you what, most likely she's not gonna go for a guy who is making less than her. She's making at least 2 bands a month on YouTube. At least. And that's because she doesn't post frequently enough. On my other channel, before it got demonetized, I had 7K followers or 7K subs on YouTube, and I was making 2 bands a month until they demonetized it. So She just, honestly, she could probably make 20 bands a month if she made a video every single day. But a lot of these women, they just are, maybe they don't have that drive. They don't have that dog in them to keep punching out content day after day after day.
Call high value. There is no mention of character, no mention of piety. And if you do not,
and y'all, women don't understand this, and a lot of men don't understand too. Being high value has nothing to do with moral character. Stop it.
Take those things into consideration, then there will definitely be pitfalls. Firstly, when you're with this kind of powerful man, there's a higher risk that he's going to be unfaithful, as he may have a bigger ego, and there's no shortage of beautiful women who actively want to be with him for this.
And women love men with big egos because women nowadays have huge egos. So if the man's ego doesn't eclipse hers, she will emasculate him.
Same reasons. And when a worldly man has beautiful women throwing themselves at him, being faithful to one woman is more difficult and less enticing. I'm not saying these beautiful women are causing men to sin. When you sin, it is entirely your fault. But there are...
Okay, so she must be on, Christian, evangelical type stuff. Look, we love the Lord and stuff, but I mean, come on. If you... Here's the thing. You're looking for a high earning man in this modern world. This guy has to adjust to what he is given. When you're a man in the dating market, all that Christian stuff, bro, it doesn't work. I'm gonna tell you right now, at least in the modern world, if you want a hot girl, now if you want some ugly fat chick, yeah, cool, you know what I'm saying? Church on Sunday, that'll do the trick, right? But in reality, we all know that if you're over here being the good Christian man and you're going to church every Sunday, Bible study every Tuesday, and you are trying to implement your beliefs on that woman, don't start reading scripture to her and telling her, hey, you doing this wrong, you doing that wrong, because the Bible says this and the Bible says that. Ooh, boy, she's going to be out on your behind. Look at what happened to Devon Franklin and Megan Good. He was a good man, and she left him.
More temptations surrounding high-value men, which is why men in the manosphere and red pill collective weirdly try to reason that it's not unethical for a high-value man to cheat or to have a high body count. I'm not saying most high-value men cheat, but there is a higher proportion.
Okay. So I don't believe all men cheat, but yes, most high-value men are going to exercise options. That's why we don't call it cheating. It's called exercising options because the women are fully aware that the man is going to exercise options. And this is why we don't include athletes and rappers into the category of high-value men, because they cannot necessarily be honest with their women, because usually they are dealing with sisters, contrary to popular belief, and say, oh, the black man is an athlete, he gonna get a white girl. No, usually they're dealing with sisters, and sisters, even though they like to go back and say, oh, we from Africa, and and Africa this, Africa that, well, sisters are not as open to accepting polygyny like other races are, especially when dealing with a high-value man.
Of them cheating. So even if you do want to attract this kind of man, there is competition. And even if you do settle down with this type of man, you very well may not experience as much peace in the marriage because you are keenly aware of the fact that he has many options who are more or less throwing themselves at him. And that kind of thing would bother even the most secure of women. So does this type of man give you a lavish lifestyle, status, convenience, financial security, and belief? In spades. But what about lasting intimacy, peace, or a tight-knit family? And hey, I get it. We are women. We value a man who can provide for us with resources because we're the ones who get pregnant and give birth, and therefore we want a man who can provide for us so that when we...
Not her trying to convince women not to deal with high-value men. It's laughable. It's laughable because no matter what you tell these women, they still gotta go after high value men. And then the problem is they don't even know what a real high value man is. They think going after athletes and rappers is going after high value men. See, that's why we don't allow rappers and athletes to be classified as high value men.
we get pregnant, we can focus on being pregnant and being present mothers. But the transient thrill of being with someone of high value and the exclusive material benefits that they can offer you very well may narrow the scope of your vision. This intense attraction ultimately comes from our fallen desire to seek security in the world and not from God. Money is ultimately just a tool to exchange value, a means by which we achieve our goals.
Let's keep it a buck. You don't even believe that. She don't even believe that. Boy, stop the cap. She want to make as much money as possible to get that, to keep buying them lashes, to keep buying them face toners, to keep buying, I mean, she's not wearing a lot of makeup, but she wants a convenient life. That's why she's doing YouTube, because you don't really have to work that hard. I mean, as a man you do, but as a woman, you don't really have to work that hard to grow on YouTube. So that, and she's not even like a dog like that on YouTube. See, dogs on YouTube, they go live at least 2 to 3 times a week. They post at least three to 4 times a week. Like, she's not really a dog on YouTube, you feel me? She's not posting every day. So she wants a convenient life. She wants an easy life, and she wants a lot of money. Let's not act like she is not attracted to guys with a bag, especially, I mean, I don't know. She looks like she probably dates white guys too, but let's keep it a buck. She want a real ninja with a bag.
And if money is our highest goal in itself, then our life becomes shallow and we forget its meaning. You also may not have as intimate of a marriage with a very high value man. These kinds of men are extreme.
I'm sorry, but have you been with a high value man before? You might not have the intimacy with a high value man, dude. I'm gonna tell you what, if you are a man and you're blowing her back out, that's really all you need to do.
Extremely ambitious and busy. They're total hustlers. I'm not only talking about celebrities, even doctors, lawyers, and lucrative business owners work around the clock.
And that's where she got it messed up. Celebrities are not high value men. Unless they earn their money through actual business, then they're not a high value man. I mean, respectfully. And yes, we can, for the purpose of certain conversations, we can classify them as high value men, especially if they have elevated from the athletic or entertainment world and ascended into the business world. That's a different story. Like a guy like Andre Iguodala or Exhibit or Jay-Z or Nas or any of those guys, they have ascended over the entertainment industry into business and have established themselves in business. Okay, so these guys, yes, they can be considered high value men because they ascended from entertainment and use that entertainment money to business. The reason why we don't consider athletes and entertainers high value men is because once they leave that industry, once they leave that profession, they go broke within the next 5 years. So you can't be considered high value if you don't have an actual skill that is correlated with financial security and stability. Unfortunately, a lot of these entertainers and athletes, specifically the black entertainers and athletes, they don't curate any skills while they're doing this job. All they do, I mean, not everyone. Okay, obviously not everyone. And I love my athletes. I was a Division I football player, so don't get me wrong when I'm saying this. But most of these guys, they don't develop any other skills but from their physicality. So when they do finish up playing or whatnot, they either go straight into media broadcasting if they're articulate and competent, or they go into coaching, which is not that lucrative unless they're coaching on a Division I or professional level.
They are constantly busy and they enjoy being busy. How often are they going to slow down to be present with you and your family? They may view themselves being pillars of the family in only a financial sense.
See, this is what women don't understand. It takes time. It takes time and hard work and negligence to your personal life in order to become a high earning, successful man. It does. That's the reality. So if you're not ready to deal with that, if you want See, women like this, they want their cake and eat it too. Oh, I want a big mansion. I want a 5,000 square foot house. I want, to have a farm on 30 acres and, have my children playing with hens and pigs and, doing yard work to teach them discipline. I want that. Yeah, you might want all of these things, but guess what it's going to cost? It's going to cost either your time or that man's time. And most likely the man is more willing to sacrifice his time for money than a woman is. So even though damn near every job, in every modern job, women are sacrificing time for money, that's why most women's jobs are going to be replaced by AI. But women are less risk. They're less risk takers. Okay, so they're more risk averse. So they don't really want to take those big risks and trade time for money, work those 18-hour days. And the men are willing to do that. Listen up. If you want that financial stability, especially if it's going to be given from a man, his time is going to be occupied. And a lot of family men, they sacrifice their financial mobility to spend time with their family. If you're a real high value man, that's just something that you are not willing to do. And I understand you want to spend time with your family, obviously, for sure. I'm a big proponent of family, spending time with your family. However, when it's time to work, it's time to work. It's a time and a place.
They may think, oh, I'm providing so much for you, that should be enough. When in reality, you are aching for more of a connection and intimacy. Your children are aching for a more present father who isn't always texting clients on his phone or always has to travel for business. Personally, I did not marry a high value man according to Kevin Samuels. He does not meet all of the criteria for being a high value man.
Damn. And there you have it. That's where the cope is coming from. She out-earns her man. And if she doesn't out-earn him now, she is going to out-earn him in the future. I don't think this is going to last. Respectfully, shout out to her. She's a beautiful woman. I don't think that this is going to last, especially if she's got 112K subs on YouTube. If she starts posting every day, she's going to make $20,000 a month. That guy is going to be out of the water. Her man is not making $20,000 a month. So, I mean, damn, she just put old boy out there. Oh, he doesn't make a lot of money, but he spends a lot of time with me. Don't tell me this man is on Call of Duty or Fortnite all day while you up here making YouTube videos. Come on.
He's high value to me, but he does not have it all.
He's high value to me. There's only one standard of high value.
Figured out yet, and that's fine. Most men don't get their stuff together financially for.
He doesn't have it all figured out yet. Let's keep going.
For a long time, most men earn more as time goes on, but in their mid-20s, most men are not very high earners. And
Most men earn more later on. So what do you think he's going to do when he starts to earn more and realizes that his SMV has skyrocketed? Then what are you going to do?
Is okay. It does not mean that they're low quality and that they don't deserve a good woman's attention.
No, it doesn't mean that they're low quality. It means that he's a Malcolm, a medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man.
I do not want to make it sound like I settled. My husband is very handsome. He's incredibly bright.
Or mildly attractive.
He's a very hard worker and he's financially responsible and he loves me, but he's not an incredibly high earner and he does not have a high status. In that vein, he'd be pejoratively considered just a regular guy by.
Okay, but what does he look like though? See, this is what women don't understand. There are trade-offs. So you might trade off his financial upward mobility for looks. And that's what it sounds like she did. He looks good to her. He's tall. He's, I don't know what he looks like, but he looks good to her. He's handsome is what she said. So he might be a Chad or Tyrone, but he just ain't making no bread like that. So she traded looks for financial stability. So it's either it's one or the other with these modern women. It's one or the other. Either they're gonna get a rich guy who's not that attractive but is financially stable, or they're gonna get a broke dude who's hot, or they can get a hot rich guy and share him. There's many options, but what I'm seeing is most women are going for looks nowadays. Yes, they will chase status. Yes, they will chase high value, but let's keep it a buck. There's not many high value men out there. So on a day-to-day basis, most women do not have genuine interactions with high value men unless it's online. So these women are actually chasing guys who are more attractive, on the more attractive side, what looks good to them.
Many people. And while I may lack a high status wealthy husband, he still gives me so much. My husband is an avid gardener. He's actually using the backyard space to grow dozens of corn. He has a plethora of vegetables and finely pruned fruit trees. He can build just about anything out of wood, and whenever something is leaking or broken, he can either fix it himself. He knows exactly where to get a good deal.
I ain't gonna lie, it sounds like she with a white dude, no cap. But I mean, look, man, and shout out to all my white guys. Just guys, I've already said white men are the most blue pill. Just make sure, you know, that you are keeping the leverage in the relationship, because I ain't gonna cap. I mean, it sounds good. He's a Malcolm for sure. He's a Malcolm, but I just don't think that he would want you to say, oh, my guy is not high value. He's an average guy. He's high value to me, but he doesn't earn much. And I mean, he's a gardener. What is his job? What is his profession? How does he introduce himself? It sounds like he's just doing housework.
Or he'll learn how to do it himself. Many high value men are so caught up in the corporate world that they couldn't even mow their own lawn. With this type,
that's bullshit. This is how you know she ain't been with no high value men. It's not that they can't mow their lawn. It's that they're not going to trade their time to mow their lawn. Look, I have a house. I got a house. It's a $300,000 house. I got about half an acre. You think I'm finna mow this lawn? No, no, I have too much. I have way more important things to do. I have a real estate business to run. I'm flipping houses. I have other things to concern myself with. I'm looking for more deals. I'm not about to mow my own lawn. I'm just gonna pay, you know, Enrique $70 to clean the whole thing up. And then my network, okay, my network of hard laborers can be used in my profession. See, now I get a referral fee, and now Enrique is doing everybody's yard in the neighborhood. And guess what? I'm making bank off of that. See, this is what women don't think about. Oh, well, I'm sure a high value man can't even mow the lawn. No, what a high value man is going to do is pay somebody to mow the lawn. And then if he mows the lawn, if mows anybody else's lawn in that neighborhood, a high value man is going to broker a deal to get a residual income based off of that one man that he hired. That's what high value men do. And this is why women cannot define what high value men are. Women, respectfully, y'all don't know what a high value man is. Y'all can't define it because y'all want to put all these other parameters. Oh, the morality. Oh, well, is he a good person? It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bruh. Come on now.
Of modest lifestyle, you're also not going to be distracted by an excess of material things because of an excess of money. You'll experience sacrifice by perhaps...
Oh God, she said he ain't gonna be distracted by an excess. Boy, look, man. Hey, if you are married to her, bro, you need to get a real job, a real career, because I ain't gonna lie, after a while, especially a woman like this, she got 112K subs. She's finna start getting hit up very soon. Somebody's gonna swoop her, bro. No cap. This is your antenna right here. This video right here tells you everything you need to know. You need to wake up, big dog. You need to wake up.
Needing to live more frugally, which will help you grow spiritually. You'll likely be more grateful for what you do have. Plus, many younger average men are setting themselves up for success later in life and will rise over time. I also have a pretty strong inkling that after
he ain't finna rise nowhere if he's gardening all day.
Women get married to rich men and settle into their lifestyle, it just becomes typical. A lavish lifestyle doesn't seem all that lavish when it's all you've experienced for such a long time. It just becomes your new normal, and you may end up yearning for the kinds of things you could have had you focused less on finding a high value man.
But then they will resent the man if he doesn't make enough money. Dude, Women just don't get it. They just don't get it. And that's fine. That's why I'm here.
As the manosphere, red pill folk define the term, and focused more on finding a godly man, even if you had to settle for a more modest lifestyle.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, this godly man stuff, look, shout out, y'all already know how I feel about it. Bro, if y'all really think that women are going after godly men, why aren't the churches filled up with beautiful women who are looking to start families? That's not what women are looking for. We love a godly man, okay? Shout out to all my godly Malcolms. But come on, bro. When you start putting those godly parameters on a woman, you know, it's not gonna work. Tell a woman, honor your husband, obey your husband. Start reading doctrine to her. Start reading the Bible to her. Bro, she is fin to dry the hell up. I'm telling you right now, bro. If you want success with these modern women, that godly man rap is not gonna work, respectfully. It really isn't. So maybe if you get your passport, go overseas, and you can run that play. But the godly man play in the States is a no-go. Bro, you finna get friend zoned. You're finna get used for foodie dates. And they are not gonna have any remorse about that. Yo, you bet you're behind.
I am definitely not here to invalidate positive experiences that women have had with high-earning men. My ultimate point is that what's truly important in a man is not his status. It's not whether he runs an incredibly lucrative business or whether he earns 6 figures. What's important is that he's a hard worker, that he can take care of you and perhaps your growing family, that he's repentant and earnestly loves and respects you. I know firsthand how attractive lots of money and status is, but that emphatically does not make a good husband. If we remain devoted to worldly things and enslaved to our fallen desires, then we're not too dissimilar to those who completely reject or ignore their femininity. Our femininity then becomes a shallow raiment whose only purpose is to live in unappreciated luxury. Even in the Bible, it says, "No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon." Matthew 6:24. Mammon means riches and the worship of them. So while we desire our needs to be met and we need to do our part every day.
So now let's start reading the scripture about what a woman is supposed to do with her husband. About her obeying her husband, about her not defying her husband's wishes. Now let's start reading the scripture that is what modern women would call restrictive on women's rights. Like women shouldn't be heads of churches or you know, preach in the church. Now let's start reading those other scriptures, PCC, but these modern Christians, they only want to pick and choose, especially the women. They only want to pick and choose which passages they follow. And then if you ask them about the Old Testament, they want to throw the whole Old Testament out with the baby in the bathwater.
God comforts us and instructs us, "Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." We must also deeply consider why we even seek to be married in the first place. Is it for our own pleasure or for the sake of our salvation and to glorify the Lord? To this end, I recommend seeking pious men who likewise seek God first in all things. Ultimately,
but I've been saying this, if you want a godly man, go to church, get a deacon, get a pastor, get one of the ushers, get the guy on the organs, get the guy on the drums. They don't want that. Bro, it's so easy to find a godly man. It's not hard. Dude, there are plenty of churches across the United States. Every Sunday you can go by and find you a godly man. They don't want that.
a devout man who quote unquote merely provides a modest lifestyle is not to be overlooked. Thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully All
right, so I mean, she's hot, but here's the thing. She's wrong. She's wrong. She's wrong about high value men. She's wrong about what women want and what women will pursue. And yeah, we'll go in the comments and then all these women will say, "Oh yeah, I agree, I concur." But then a lot of them are single. A lot of them are not living that life and they're still chasing the same high value men. No, guys, say it ain't so. So I just went to Jasmine Theodora's Instagram, and lo and behold, I was right for one. She is dating a white man, which shout out to my white guys, you know what I'm saying? Love you boys, okay? For the boys, Saturdays, woo woo, all right. Oh God, you're covering the man's face. I don't get it. I don't get it. What, you think somebody's gonna steal him from you? Did he say he didn't want to be on social media? I mean, because to me, it sounds... There's two things. Either she doesn't want somebody to steal her man, or he is a really private guy and doesn't want to be exposed or whatever. The reality is, he might have his own little thing on the side that he's dealing with, and he don't want his face out there so that he can get called out on social media. That's what it looks like to me. So she has one picture of her marriage. Damn near looks like a shotgun marriage, I ain't gonna cap. Or a shotgun wedding. And you see her profile, there are no pictures of her husband. Let me repeat. There are no pictures of her husband. Not his face, not anything. Only the picture of her being married. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up, y'all. You cannot make this stuff up. And like I said, I mean, she's a beautiful girl. I'm gonna tell you right now, I genuinely, and I'm not trying to wish bad on them, but I genuinely do not think that it's gonna last. And she is going to leave the relationship. If that man don't get to a bag real quick, she's going to... She gonna lead a relationship. Bro looks like a lumberjack, bro. You better get a high earning carpentry job or something, bro. I mean, it sounds good. Sounds good. All that stuff that she was saying sounds good. But let's keep it a buck. You're covering his face for a reason. Whether he wants privacy or you want it, to me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Anyways, you already know what it is, man. This is your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship questions to your email down below with a screenshot of your cash app so I know you paying your tithes, man. Y'all already be on your motherfucking D with the BS. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.